So in this video, I'll be going over Blender's navigation tools and teaching you how to navigate your way around the 3D viewport. So in Blender, you can move in different ways. If you have a mouse, the middle button in your mouse, that's if you have an external mouse, the middle button in your mouse is what you use to orbit around your object, is what you use to rotate around your object. So if I quickly press my middle mouse button and drag, you can see that I am orbiting round this cube. So remember your middle mouse button, you click, as you can see it's showing on the bottom left of my screen. See, I'm pressing my middle mouse button and then I'm orbiting around this object. Now if you don't have an external mouse, I will advise you get an external mouse because it's the best option you have if you're doing 3D. But if you don't have a mouse and you're using it on the laptop, for instance, you can come to this this cross here and come to this grayed out circle, and then you left click and then you drag. So it gives you the same option of rotating around your object. So remember, you just come here, it's going to now gray out, the circle will, rather the cross will gray out into a circular pattern or a circular form. You click inside the box anywhere but anyway, you can even click on the axis, it doesn't matter, but you can click anywhere in this circle and just move or orbit around your object. So now the second way you can move in Blender is through panning. But before we get into panning, let's go into zoom, for instance. So let's say that I want to zoom into my object, I want to get closer to my object. How you can do that is with your middle mouse button, you just scroll in. As you can see, we've gotten closer to our object, and scroll out. If you don't have a mouse, you can come to this this magnifying glass here, left click like we did, and then push your mouse up or down. So it's the same thing. It's the same thing with your mouse, with your external mouse. So now the last way to move in Blender is through panning. Now, how is panning? What is panning? Let's say that you've probably noticed, our camera is, or our 3D world or 3D eyes, 3D window is locked into this. And naturally, when you open Blender, it's going to be locked into the center of your 3D scene. So every time we orbit, we're just orbiting around this object. So let's say we want to orbit around this camera, for instance, right? What we can simply do is shift. As you can see, my shortcut here, press shift, middle mouse button, and drag. Again, shift, middle mouse button, and drag. Now if you want to just like the other tools, if you want to do this without, let's say you don't have a middle mouse, you don't have a mouse, an external mouse, what you can do is you can left click on this hand, it's called the move or the grab, and then you pan as well. You can pan basically like you have an external mouse. So that's that. Now if I should get into your timeline, now your timeline is where you do all your animations. I'm just going to briefly go over this because we are going to implement it later on in the course, but it's basically how you keyframe, it's basically how you adjust the timing of your whatever animation you have. So yeah, we've come to the end of this lesson. For a take home, why don't you open up Blender, try moving around, move your mouse, try rotating around objects. I want you to get really used to this because this is your way of actually moving and navigating in your 3D space. So get used to it. In the next video, we'll be talking about object modes. See you in class.